Exactly.
Because otherwise it looks weird if you're looking. Hi.
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Hi.
This is gonna be a lot of fun. So I don't even know how I was gonna start this now.
You just
So-
We
hit
already
live.
started.
You just hit go.
Yes, so we are live here at the Michigan Public Safety Telecommunications Conference, and we are live from Kalamazoo, Michigan. We are in the vendor hall right now. They have the vendor reception going on. I am Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and I am here with my good friends. Welcome back, Whitney. Oh, shit.
OG. Hi,
Yeah.
everybody.
I know, OG, yo. And Leah, what is going on?
What up?
The one and only.
Oh, man. So this has been good already. I like how you're just staring into the camera like,
Nonstop.
Yeah.
Where am I
Hello.
supposed to look?
hello.
You can look everywhere.
Well, because in 911, we don't have to do eye contact, right? That's probably
okay.
why
Yes,
most
this
of you
is
signed
this
up
is true.
for this job.
This is true.
I don't have to look at anybody, but now I panic. There's a camera. There's like
I would tell you to be normal, but I know that that's not gonna happen.
no.
Act
I
natural.
like it. Yeah, we're broken.
We are all.
We work in
broken.
911. We're broken.
Yes. So this is gonna be fun. Also, this live broadcast is sponsored by Digital, Rapid Deploy, and Carbine. And a big shout out to patrons. Thank you very much for all of those who are watching right now. Please throw something in the comments. Roll call. Where are you watching from? And oh my God. Oh, Karen is up in here. She says, "Oh my God, FOMO."
Karen.
Oh, I wish Karen was here.
Yep, she is got some serious FOMO going on. And so we were just, oh man, we were talking right before we went live. But so let's start out with open mic. So I did my session today. We had open mic going on, and I had Whitney start out with telling a few stories. Now, before this started, she comes up to me and she's like,
No, it was
I have
fast.
I have
It
a
was
few.
passing.
Yes, in passing. She's like, I have a couple stories that I want to tell that's about you. I was like, all right. And you didn't know that I was going to go with you first.
No, I
'Cause,
know. And then,
yeah, even the look on your face, you're like, oh, okay.
Hey, everybody. No, I think
Yes.
the conversation between Ricardo and I, he's talking to everybody in the room. You know, we just kind of come off the really heavy stuff. There's some people still kind of sniffling, and he's walking past me just to tell me one thing. I'd kind of been helping with like a microphone or whatever. And
Yes.
he was walking past me, and I was like, hey, can I tell him about your stomach issues? And like, that's the only thing. And as we're walking past each other, he's like, yeah, sure.
Because we've all heard the burrito story, so this is above and beyond that.
It is. So it's about, do you want me? I mean, are we cool?
Yeah,
Are we
yeah,
in a
yeah.
safe- are
See,
we in a
because
safe
what
space?
what
Are we
I
in the
what
nest?
I yes,
The
we're in the
tree of
trust
trust?
tree.
Okay.
Yes,
Tree of
but
trust.
when
We used to
what
call it
I
the
had
nest.
what I had heard was, can I tell him about your issues? And I said, yeah, go ahead. So then you go ahead.
So he opens up with me, and I'm standing there with a mic ready to deliver it to somebody, and he's like, Whitney will start, and I was like, Ricardo's lactose intolerant, and
And my jaw drops.
yeah,
Literally.
and then I had, you have like that 30-minute conversation with yourself in 2 seconds in your brain. And the only thing I remember thinking was full send. We're just going to tell people. So I'm like, I had the pleasure of starting 911 years ago, and Ricardo was my supervisor. And now as a deputy director, I'm off the floor, but I learned from the best. I said, but the trouble that I ran into was that Ricardo struggles with lactose intolerance,
Oh, damn
and
it.
obviously that's a forever thing that you don't just like get over, but you can manage it. Ricardo did not manage it. There was no managing it. So this dude would show up with like a Frosty from Wendy's. He'd walk in the door, and I'd be like, oh.
I'm working by myself
Some
tonight.
some people were like full moon night, and I'd be like Frosty night. Great. I'm gonna have a quadruple homicide that I'm gonna
Right.
run by myself now because Mr. Poopy McPoops a lot is gonna be down the hallway. So yeah, I tell people to this day.
Well, I had to frost the bathroom. So
You did. Yeah. We'd get pizza, and he'd be eating pizza, and I'd be across the room being like,
look,
gonna
someone put a cry emoji on there. They must be feeling bad for you.
yes. Oh, I was going to say, I thought you meant for you. I
No,
was
it's
like,
you.
Oh, maybe for me. I don't know.
I am the victim here.
I think every dispatch center has one though. Like there's
Yeah. You got a pooper.
Yeah.
And you
Oh my
love,
God.
serial
I was the
pooper.
pooper.
you love
I was the
your
pooper?
people.
Congratulations.
What the
You've done a
hell?
lot for our industry.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't do the frosty thing. I mean, whatever. We love you. You can do the frosty thing. But if you walk in the door,
I haven't had a frosty since dispatch.
You haven't?
No.
Be like, this dude needs to put 3 hours of PTO on his timesheet for today. Kidding
I was a
me?
good supervisor, man.
Great supervisor.
Oh, Lucille here says, "Oh my God, there is always that one."
Lucille, you smell what I'm stepping in?
Oh my God,
It
yeah,
is.
I was dropping it. So, jeez.
Yeah.
But
you
the pizza from the place was good though. I couldn't help it.
Vitale's?
Yes, Vitale's.
So good.
Vitale's. You had good pizza. You still have good pizza.
Vitale's in
assume.
Allegan. Great pizza.
Yes.
I worked on a shift actually with Ricardo, and then we had a coworker too. And I won't use his name. I didn't get permission, even though we joke about he'd be fine with it. But
Yes.
these two wonderful young men who were wonderful at their job both had stomach issues.
Oh man.
So then they would fight who could go down the hall, because you like got the bathroom in the center that's like your quick tinkle bathroom, and then you got the
yes.
down the hall.
Right. Well, for us, it's that bathroom's on the second. We're on the third floor. It's second floor. It's 2 on 2. You can use this bathroom.
Oh, 2 on 2.
2 on 2.
That's good. That's a good idea.
And nobody's adhering to the rule lately. It's driving me nuts.
Oh,
Yeah.
is yours right in your center, like
It's
right off the door?
No, it's right outside my office.
Oh, so they have to go off the
it's
floor.
just a little bit off the floor.
Can you smell it?
Sometimes.
When it's a wave of like poopy
Sometimes
floral.
I think the sound is worse.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just
It's like
every dispatch center has one.
what is it? It's like Dumb and Dumber when he's in Aspen.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it was like with me with the Red Bull and the Red Bomb burrito.
That's right.
I'm just glad that the hotel eggs that I had this morning didn't do
They
anything.
sat okay.
Yes. They were all right. Yep.
Good. Good.
Lord.
I can't believe. Yeah, that's how it started out. There were a bunch of stories though that were shared that I could not believe.
And we had a couple firsts.
The
Yes.
birdcage.
CPR one. Yeah, I wasn't sure if I just dropped it. Tell it.
No, it's not my story to tell.
You can give just an oversight for people that didn't
Yes.
get a chance to hear it earlier.
Yeah,
Great.
Yes,
so
yes.
it was a CPR call. Somebody called in, so their significant other, husband, I think, had dropped, and they were talking to somebody through CPR.
Yeah.
EMS gets there, and
Well,
the
and
person.
she was like beside herself.
Yeah,
She's like, I'm
beside
breaking his ribs.
Yep. So there's noises and breaking his ribs.
Yeah.
EMS gets on scene, and she was pumping on a bird cage. So
Yes. A
Like, that is
fucking
a
bird
first.
cage, which was a first for open mic. But this is one of those things where there was a similar story that was shared in Wisconsin a few years ago. And the dispatcher's telling the story and saying, this guy calls in and he's hysterical, he's freaking out, he just keeps saying, my friend's not breathing, and the dispatcher says, dispatcher ends up saying, "Can I swear on here?" I was like, yeah, of course. So the dispatcher
We're
goes,
sensitive.
yeah. So the person telling the story goes, all I could think was, oh fuck, and so that's the way the story starts out. So you're kind of laughing because the dispatcher who's telling the story is animated, but then you're thinking about what the person is talking about. You're like, should we laugh at this? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
So then the guy ends up saying, oh, my baby's not breathing. So the dispatcher is thinking in their head, oh fuck, it's actually a baby. What is going
This
on?
is a bad one.
So going through CPR, going. Officer gets on scene, gets there before EMS, ends up telling everyone to slow down. And the person telling the story is saying, why the hell are we going to stop them? The baby's not breathing. They got to keep going. And then the officer keys up on the radio and says, dispatch, it's an iguana.
Oh no.
So then everyone starts busting up laughing. So it's just like the bird cage where we're all laughing and stuff. It was like, wait, should we wait?
Wait.
But then gets to the point where it ends up being a bird cage.
See, and that one, okay, the iguana has me feeling bad because you're like, I will help you. I will help you do
I
little
will
teeny
try.
tiny chest compressions.
Make
But
your
they
mouth
didn't
really
know.
small. Cover your mouth. Cover their mouth with your mouth.
Yeah, we can do this. But the bird cage, I would have got on scene and been like, do not go get the AED. Do not call 911.
Right.
Maybe do it. What happens? What happens if you hook up the AED to that?
I know. I would assume it would say no shock advised, but maybe you could try to bypass that and be like,
It's
give it a little
Maybe.
1-2.
Where the bird cage jumps up and is like, thanks. And you're like,
Yeah.
what? What?
Yeah, the bird cage puts his little
I
rollerblades back
definitely-
on and rollerblades away. That was a great one.
Oh, I was like, thanks for helping me out there.
There was
Uh.
another one that made me chuckle, and I had a bunch of stories that came into my head, and I know a lot of you who are in the industry will too. But it was somebody on running a driver's license, and the name was very comical.
Yes.
And
Yes.
yeah, I know everybody's like "Brrr," going through their Rolodex, a bunch of wild ones, and sometimes too, you're like, I'm not
repeating that.
I'm not going to say that back over the I will. That's fine. Please, Whitney, please explain in writing why you refuse to give that back.
Oh, I will give it back phonetically.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. There
Here we go.
Yes, there was one time that I got caught with one of those, and the name on there. Now this was years ago. I'm just gonna. It was a PHUK.
Yeah.
Was part of the name.
Right.
And
FCC is coming for me on this one.
Was it after 10 p.m.?
Yeah, exactly. So and
Right.
I end up saying it, and everyone's laughing and like, oh, ha ha ha.
Yeah, grow up, children.
I know, he's stupid. It was pretty good though.
You would have laughed. You would have laughed if it
Right.
was you.
Yeah. There's so many different names, but all the rest of the stories that were said as well. There was another CPR one though, and I can't think of what it was now, but there was another CPR one that turned out to be some other object or something. Damn it, what was it?
No, it was a good one. I thought there was a good outcome by the time somebody got there.
Well, there was one for that as well, but I was pretty sure there was two
That's funny.
CPR
Yeah, I think
calls.
you're right.
There was the birdcage one, and then there was another one. But so someone that I was talking to, actually my homeboy who's sitting over there, he was going to say a story that he had heard, and it was about a lady who ended up calling in. No, I think it was a guy actually. A guy called in because his wife ended up putting a knitting needle into.
Mm-mm.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm.
Mm-mm. Call someone else.
Mm-mm.
I don't got a card for that. I don't know what protocol.
But apparently the person ended up being
body.
okay.
Mm-mm.
I've taken those
But that
calls.
was actually similar to another story that we heard today as
It
well.
was the
Scorpion. That was from my center.
scorpion, yeah.
Yes.
A scorpion.
Okay, so you know about this story, right? You know about the call and everything.
I did not.
What?
I did not know about the story until my dispatcher shared it with 400,000 people.
And
And
now,
I'm standing at the front of the room.
it'll
and
be
then-
QA'd.
Yes.
God.
And then she yells vagina in the room. And I was like,
Yes.
which is fine. It's medical. She was very professional. She's
Very
a
confident.
wonderful dispatcher. She didn't laugh at all, but I was like,
But why would a
Wasn't right.
scorpion get put in there?
Mm-mm.
yeah. So there was, marital activities. And then there was a 911 call that was placed because there was a scorpion that was, I don't know. I think mental health had something to do with it maybe, but
Oh,
I was like, as I'm walking the microphone back to the stage, I'm like, I would have been like, what card do I use for that? Inaccessible incident?
I know. Foreign body object.
I don't.
well, and I mean, did it end up being true though, or
No. I asked her afterwards. I was like, was that from this place? And she's like, no, it was one caller that we dealt with for 1 month. And she called several times because the scorpion was now in her fallopian tube. And then we just never heard from her anymore.
oh,
So I don't think it was true. But in that moment, like a professional, you treat it like it's true.
Yep.
right?
Even if your caller is like disassociating and they don't really know what they're saying or whatever, you still treat them with respect because that's what we do. But there are times where you hang up the phone and you're like, I don't know if I could have been prepared for that call. I don't think.
And we take
Right.
way more of those, I think, than people realize.
Yeah. And you don't even share them with your partner because it's not like you want to laugh at people's misfortunes or you want to share the funny things because we get it. It's not funny for people who are living in that moment. But
Right. It's,
time and time
it's the
again,
situation. Though.
yeah,
Yeah.
time and time you hang up and you're like, how would I explain my job to like a new person?
Right? Like, this is what you're going to hear.
Huh.
You'll never be prepared.
Yeah. The lady's husband was a scorpion king. So
Put it on your resume, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, Lord.
so that was one of the ones as well. That's not the one that I thought we were going to share, but we went with that.
I don't know. was just thinking of the shocking things that caught me off guard.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That and the gentleman, the lady who called about her husband whose coin sack got stuck in the
In the
seat.
seat.
In the shower chair.
Yeah.
Shower-
Yeah. The shower chair,
Yes.
and she's laughing. And in the background, the dispatcher can hear the husband yelling, "This is not funny. It's not funny." Like, I would be saying the same thing. It's like, you're laughing about my coin sack. Like, this is not cool. This is painful.
I'd be the caller though. I'd be like, I'm not sure if I should be calling you. It's kind of fun.
This is
So all of that. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Scenario then. What if you were the caller? How would you call that in?
So as a 911 professional, I wouldn't. Because when you
Ah.
work in the business, and in my mind, I say I'm going to call 911 for three things. My husband's in the middle, or my children are in the middle of a major medical
Yep.
incident. My house is burning down, or there is somebody actively trying to kick down my front door.
I thought you were actively eating something.
Everything else, get in the car. I'm taking you to the hospital by myself. Pick up your arm. We've got this. Hold pressure.
Pick up
If-
your arm.
Put it
If
in the
you're
cooler,
still
it's
bleeding,
fine.
you're not pressing hard enough. Seatbelts in this car. Seatbelts. We got an
Okay,
ambulance shortage.
but
Seriously, I
Get in the car.
first rule of 911. You don't call 911 when you work.
Yeah, so I wouldn't. I would be like,
But-
this looks unfortunate. And I
but
wish you luck.
pretend that you are not in 911. How would you call that in?
I
Like, what would you say?
I would be laughing. I'm full disclosure. I would be laughing.
Yeah, I feel like you have to introduce humor at some level.
And
like,
I'm-
would you cry? No, you
Oh,
couldn't
no.
cry
I don't cry
about
things
that.
like that.
Yeah, yeah, you'd have to laugh and be like, I got a sitch.
Listen, he's fine. He's fine.
He's
a little
fine.
embarrassed,
It's fine,
right?
but I can't get his shower chair
Off of it.
into the car to take him to the hospital. I guess maybe.
Oh
yeah.
yeah. He's
Ah.
stuck.
Yeah, I guess I have to call.
Ma'am, what do you mean he's stuck? Like, he's just sitting there, like he's not mobile, or how is he stuck there?
Well, he's attached to the chair.
Okay. I mean, does
And the
he
chair
does he
needs to
have
go
some sort
with
of
it.
prosthetic that is attached to it, or what is it exactly that is attached?
How is nobody here just quietly like,
I know.
I'm so thankful that there are people in this world that are our first responders. Our 911 dispatchers are our first responders, but there are men and women who, the second we send you, you guys go running out into the world and take care of those people. And I thank you because I have strengths and I just don't know if that would be one of them. So thank you for being willing to run into houses and do stuff like that.
That's how I ended up in dispatch.
You were like,
I will
No.
take your nuts stuck in a shower chair, phone calls all day,
all day.
but I am not going on scene. I'm not
No.
touching that. Nope. Hard no.
No, like, punching or anything.
Nope. Well, and then she's describing the phone call. Just let me.
Oh yeah, we didn't
One
finish.
more really hard tug.
Yeah, we didn't
Yes.
finish the call.
Yes. So yeah, go ahead. Finish the
Yeah.
conversation.
So
How
she-
did the rest of the conversation go with that?
She wanted to give it one more go. Let me just try one more time.
And
One
he was, like
really
yelling.
hard tug, and he's yelling in the background because it's obviously painful.
Interesting how you have your hand. How
Would you pull down on it?
It depends on how it was stuck. I feel like I wouldn't have to. I mean, I have big hands. I could just get it out there.
It'd be like a forward and up.
A forward and up?
Forward and up. It's like it's caught.
Where is it stuck in the chair?
How are
Like,
you gonna pull it down? Out of what?
how is it stuck in the
like,
seat to
what if
begin
it's
with?
up? What if you have like,
Linda, I have a question.
what if it's like,
Call her back. Call her back. We got a question. Pull it down through the shower? You're gonna pull his
what
whole
if you like
body
pull
through?
down and have him slide out?
Okay, so for those who are watching this right now,
Well, I guess we need
if
to know where it
you
was
have
stuck in
any
the chair.
instruction on how this would be removed from this seat,
Yeah.
throw it in the comments because I want to see what you have to say as well.
Yeah. Like a nursing home community or somebody that
Oh, yeah,
has
some. This is not the first time.
no, this is a thing.
But and so the lady was laughing the whole time, and,
Yeah.
and the husband is in the background saying this is not funny.
0 out of 5 stars.
Right, and
do not recommend.
And then I think the person who's telling the story says that at the end of the call, when they were saying that people, or no, when she said that they ended up getting it out, like, oh, we got them out, we got them out of the, loose from the seat. That she ends up saying, I don't know how you're not laughing at this, and I mean,
I don't know how I'm not either.
I know. I would have had to have had my headset on and move the piece up so that I could laugh.
Oh yeah.
Or mute and laugh, because
No, you wouldn't have. You would have been so professional in the moment, like everybody else is. And then when you hang up, you'd have been like, I got to tell you guys something.
well, maybe not though, because I would have said it out loud though.
Yeah.
I would have repeated it out loud, because then everybody else would have been, what?
And all of a sudden you see everybody's like barging in on your phone call.
Exactly. Burp, burp, everybody's listening.
I
in.
know 3 or 4 people listening to this one phone call.
Don't ever let this stop you from calling 911. This is.
You should call. You should call.
Yes, always call when you get your ball stuck in a
Call if you
seat.
can. Text if you can.
Dang, look
You're
at
welcome.
you.
Ew.
Oh my God.
You invited
But just
us
remember,
to-
texting isn't available in all counties.
But most. We're almost there. Michigan is doing things.
Well done,
Doing
Michigan.
good things.
Well done.
I'm looking at you guys. Good work.
So it's been a lot of fun to be here and be in person back here in Michigan, old stomping grounds and everything, seeing the both of you, having the both of you on and everything else. It was a lot of fun during open mic. But what's some of the funny shit that you guys personally, you ladies, have dealt with on your calls? I mean, we had some fun times actually in dispatch between Whitney and I and an old partner that we had, Jill. We would be in there. Yeah. Hello, Jilla the killer.
We called her that for a reason. She
Yes.
killed a lot of people. Not her fault. Excellent dispatcher.
Awesome person. Love you, Jill.
Unfortunate luck.
So 3:00 in the morning, we would start singing Bohemian Rhapsody. And there was
Loud.
one time that our at radios, it got stuck, and we started singing again, and people heard us all across
Oh,
the
yeah.
county.
Everybody. Some
See,
of us are louder in the room than others, too.
especially because you were the one who was on that side. Yep.
Or we've had hot mics before, too. We were about to get stuck, and I'm just marching through behind my staff, and I'm like, just big old F word comes flying out.
Oh yeah.
And then they're like, could you let Whitney know she has an open mic? Or something like that. And you're like, whoops.
It's like everybody's open mic. Oh, open mic. Phone starts ringing. You're like,
Exactly. And the only thing you hear after that is like,
and now I'm like,
trying to
I
like,
said what I said.
exactly.
I said what I said.
Right. Because what's going to happen? What are you going to do?
You fire me.
Yeah.
Probably.
But that's the thing. So that's what we're working on right now, kind of. I hope across the industry, but there are things that you can control and there are things that you cannot control. Leah and I just talked about this as
Mhm.
deputy directors and working with our staff. There are things that are really frustrating, and we walk this path with our people and we get it. But like I like to yell, and I know it's really annoying, but your response is your responsibility. So you can get yourself all pissed off about things, like me driving my car, really frustrated when people don't know how to use the left lane. But
Same.
is that a like a helpful use of my time, and I'm already at capacity and everything else? No. So,
Yeah.
I'll get off. I will step back down.
Well said. Well said.
What about you, Leah?
Yeah, Leah.
Oh yeah, I don't have. I rely on her for the deep words of wisdom.
No, you have to.
I'm talking about some of the funny.
stories. Exactly. We're not
Oh.
asking you for
I
wisdom.
was
We're
like,
asking you for
she's not
funny
prepared
stories.
to do that right now. I feel like I forget them, and then
I do
like,
too.
something like will trigger it, and I think about it again. But
I like when people say stuff like, "What's your craziest call?" And I'm like, "Oh, what's crazy to people in the industry
Correct.
is not crazy to the real
the,
world."
the
And
story I
This
would
is
tell
true.
you is different than the story I would tell like my
This is
family
true.
or somebody
Yes.
who's not in the industry.
without a doubt.
Yeah, it is a different kind of crazy. The foreign body, foreign object are always interesting ones. It's like, how did that get there? Why?
Right.
Why did that get there?
Right.
Those are always good.
I had a one, not call taking, but actually with Jill. we were celebrating my birthday one night,
Uh-huh.
and you guys were awesome, and we got a cake, and it was super fun, and we were like in between 911 calls, and she comes walking over, and the cake is on the cardboard, and the cardboard sits on the tray that has the dome
Mhm.
lid that snaps into it. Well, if I don't know if you guys have ever lived through this, but the cardboard tray on the plastic snap-in piece, it's kind of slick, kind of slippery, so you should probably take that off
Yes.
the cardboard tray. And she comes walking around, and they're singing me happy birthday, and she goes to put the cake in front of me to blow my candles out, and flames come shooting off her hands, and the cake flips upside down in my lap with fire
Oh.
and just right in my
Oh
lap
my God.
on my cake, frosting everywhere. And I was like,
You got frosted.
what a weird way, like, to have to tone out my own ambulance or my own fire department. Like, person on fire cars. This is an echo. This is an echo.
So I've got a couple people here. Halcyon Frank says there's so much Michigan speak happening right now.
Oh,
What does that even mean?
oh,
Yeah, right?
Michigan speak.
Yeah,
Yeah.
come at me. Just kidding. You're
Okay,
right.
we do have an accent.
We do. We have an exchange student right now at my house.
Oh,
And bless her. There's a lot of idioms I have to explain to her, and a lot of things my husband will say, and I'll be like, that's kind of Michigan-y. Like, yeah, you're
that only
kinda-
applies to
like
her.
you're kind of getting nasally on that one, honey. We got to bring it back down. So you're right, Halcyon. You're right. You're right.
And you said her name right too. Well done.
Yeah,
We
she's
call her-
Snap.
We
She's
call her
nice.
LaFranc.
LaFranc.
Kimberly says, laugh my ass off. Go Michigan.
Go blue.
Oh, snaps.
I will die on this hill.
Oh, man. So my homegirl, Sarah, is on here, and she's all like Penn State. So I'm waiting to see.
Man.
I'm waiting to see what she says. But also, Halcyon here says Michigan Conference.
Michigan. Michigan.
Michigan?
Why do we draw it out?
I don't know.
So sometimes
I don't know.
it's serious.
I'm not
Because
sure.
that's from the Michigan.
Michigan. Michigan.
Wait, was that Sarah that said that?
Oh, so here's Sarah. She says, we are for Penn State.
You are 9 overtimes down. I'm just kidding. Those were not fighting words. I'm sorry. I'm not. Those weren't fighting words.
She's
I apologize.
I feel bad because I have no allegiance to either Michigan team. I went to college in Vegas. Like,
Of course you did.
mm,
I'm sorry, Sarah. I take that back.
Oh man, you two are gonna scrap.
I didn't mean it.
I love you, Sarah.
It was just a wild thing to watch, and there was just a lot of overtimes.
I actually don't know what you're talking about. Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah, 9 overtimes. That was
it's excessive.
it was
Wrap it up.
exhausting. Yeah. Right.
I don't even know where to go from.
Me neither. I'm just
She goes, I died. So what? She's like, I was on the floor. She's talking
You,
about
get
the
the
9
AED.
overtimes.
you get the AED and come back. You call 911.
Need to
And
scratch
she
you, Sarah.
brought back. Yeah, I love you, Sarah. So one of the calls that I remember being in dispatch, it was a New Year's Day, and a lady called in. This was in the no, I'm not going to say the city. Sorry. Oh, almost got me. This was in the county, and she's calling in because her and her husband own this apartment complex, and she's just like dying laughing when she calls in. So I'm wondering, what is it that she's calling in? Like, this sounds hilarious. I want to be a part of this. Of course I am, because I'm on the call. I'm like, ma'am, what is going on? She goes, well, I mean, it was New Year's Eve last night. And I was like, yeah. And she goes, everyone was partying in the complex. We went up on one of the floors, and in the laundry room, there is a man. He's naked. There is vomit and shit everywhere.
Oh
And she's laughing so hard. And her husband is in the background saying, shut up. This is not funny. There could be something wrong with him. And she goes, we checked on him. He's just asleep. He's passed out.
Is he breathing?
He was breathing. Everything was fine.
Close the door again.
no.
Yeah.
Have a good Happy New Year.
She's like, I opened the door and I saw the vomit and shit everywhere. And there's like pee. And he's just laying there, just like snoring and farting. And I'm just like, just gonna walk back out.
I would have been like, why did you have to say snoring? Why did you have to say
Right.
snoring? Because now I have to.
Breathing.
now I
That's
have
the
to-
first thing I
yeah.
thought of.
Now
Right.
I have to treat this so different. If you would have just said he was poopy, but he was still breathing,
He's
and he was
poopy.
like, like he was sick and heaving and stuff, I'd have been like, leave him be.
Yes.
Yeah,
But
sleep it
but
off.
no, yeah, I had to send the ambulance and everything else out because of some of the stuff that she was saying. But she was laughing so hard that I could not help but laugh with her. And I don't know that I don't think that was a QA call or anything like that, because they would have heard me just busting up with her.
But that's normal. I mean, like, you have to have some level of being a human being when you're a dispatcher and you're
Yes.
a supervisor and you're doing quality assurance. And I hope that you guys all do that with your people too. And like, I just get it. You're all human.
It was a good time though.
One of my
Obviously with the person as well.
I know, right? Like, what do you drink? You can probably smell it. Was it Fireball? One of my favorite things about working with lots of great things, but one story that often makes me laugh was Ricardo had kind of a grosser call where you could hear a lot of, I might have shared this before, where you could hear like suctioning of sputum and that kind of stuff. And Ricardo's great. He's talking to the significant other while he's providing instructions to help the person's partner. And but the whole time I'm watching Ricardo, I'm like trying to figure out what's going on because there's something happening next to me where Ricardo isn't okay. And I'm processing my own calls and I'm watching him and he's like, and I'm like,
That I've had that when people are throwing up on the phone.
Yeah.
Like that.
and he's just
Like, yeah.
the whole call. And I'm like, what are you doing? And he's like, yep. So they're on their I keep this the whole time. And I'm like, what is happening? He's like, he was suctioning the whole time. And he's like,
For real, because I'm pretty sure I even did the like
trying to like whip your whip your headset back.
yes. That happens. Some of those calls come in. It's just like when you're taking a call and you're waiting for people to get there and you're trying to continue the conversation. Just think of
Yes.
anything else to say
Fill those gaps.
before
Customer
you get to the
service.
point where you're like, okay, if there's anything else that you need, I'm going to be right here. And just let me know if anything changes.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm going to put the phone down here just for really quick. Okay. Yeah. Go ahead. And then you hear the person peeing or pooping.
Oh, yeah.
You're like,
Like, dude, like for real?
okay.
I did have one time a dude get back on the phone and say, I'm really sorry you had to hear that, but I mean, you told me to just go ahead and put the phone down because you wanted to make sure that you could hear if anything else happened. I'm like, you are correct.
Yep. You reassure your caller.
That is accurate. Yes, I did say that. I was not expecting to hear you.
We just like learned a lot about each other. Like, what's your zodiac sign?
like
Somebody else. Water sign?
Water sign?
no, it was straight up beast mode. Like,
Oh,
No.
yeah,
okay. Burrito.
I couldn't do it.
straight up chili style. It was
Yeah,
just, it was
it
not
happens.
good.
That
But
happens. It might have been the guy the day after the New Year's Eve guy.
Could have been.
It could have been him.
Poor
Round
guy.
2.
I'm gonna wonder how his year went.
I know. I
You're
wonder.
okay.
Yeah. Might have had a rough year.
you never, I mean, if that's how the year started, then without,
That could have just been like a Tuesday for him, though.
I mean, okay, you're
You
right.
know?
You're right.
We all know that one person where you're like, why do you go the extreme every time we hang out? And
Right.
It would have been like Tom, like, oh, it's just Tom. It's fine.
That
He
was a
pooped in the laundry
shitty
room.
Taco Tuesday, that's for sure.
He pooped in the laundry room. It's fine. It's just Tom.
Just leave him in there. It's fine.
I don't know. One time, well, I have birthed 3 children. We've got foster kids and exchange students. So my
400
house,
children.
400 children.
Mhm.
But 3 of my children, they're biological, and I was incredibly sick with all 3 of them. And I remember doing CPR on more than one occasion. Those long, we live in a rural, I dispatch in a rural county. And I remember I'm trying to count compressions with my collar, and I remember just flipping my headset up and just in the trash can between my legs. Because there are some times where you could hang up with a caller and be like, call me back if there's any changes. And there's other times when you're doing CPR and you're just like,
I
when
love
you're-
how real you made that sound.
I just those some of those memories come back, and it reminds me that 911 dispatchers are human beings for so many reasons.
Yep.
They have dark humor that helps them process really traumatic, really sad, difficult things.
Yes.
They, throw up during morning sickness in the middle of CPR calls. You guys are all just human beings, and don't ever stop being a human being, because when you lose that side of you, it will affect your job. And if it doesn't in this moment, it will eventually start to chip away at you. So just keep being real. Keep throwing up on your CPR calls, I guess.
Yes.
Full circle. I don't know.
Keep it on the plastic.
Just
Keep it on the plastic.
keep it on the plastic.
As they told me, if you're gonna be sick, if you're gonna give birth here, keep it on the plastic. I'm like, is there a plan? Is there a plan for that?
I remember being like, if I go into labor, I'm driving myself.
Oh
out of
no,
this
they had a
county.
plan.
What?
They're like, we're gonna keep it. Ooh. I worked up until like the
Mhm.
day that I had my kid, and I worked with 3 other dudes, and they're like, all right, you're gonna call the ambulance. You're gonna wheel her to the elevator and push the button, and we'll have the ambulance pick her up downstairs.
They're all like,
That was
not
it.
Not it.
That's hilarious.
I
That's
know.
hilarious.
Be like, don't you guys act like the victims. I don't want to be on the
I
other
won't- I
end of
won't
that
walk
either.
myself.
It's a log roll.
So I have a question for the both of you as we go into the wrap up of this. If you could, and this was what I asked in my session, if you could go back in time to tell yourself something that you know now, like when you first started out, what would you tell yourself?
Mine is more now that I'm in an administrative role.
Mhm.
I just have to look at it and say, don't take it personal. When there are literally 1,000 people that have access to you to tell you about everything your staff has ever done wrong, every incorrect radio transmission, every miss whatever, don't take it personal. And, when you turn that corner and you start to say, I want to get 1% better every day, it's all just reframing that content coming in. Like, great, thank you. Yep, I'll take care of it from here. But there was a portion of my career where I was like, everybody just all the time.
That's me. I think when I came in, 14 years ago or whatever it was, I think I was really quick to get that attitude where like, everyone's stupid. Duh, this is stupid. I would go back and change that.
Yeah.
Just the effect it had on me, and understanding now like how that's projected to my coworkers, to even people on the phone. You think they don't hear it, but they do. They know it. They can feel it. That would be it. I mean, it's just how you react to things and what you take personally, and yeah, it's not worth it. It's not your emergency. I mean, it's theirs, and you're helping them. You're the person that can do that. But yeah, I would go back and change how I react to those things.
Yeah.
I think.
And
Nice.
just remember, your people are your people. Your
Yeah.
coworkers are your family. Take good care of them.
Oh yeah, you spend more time with them.
Yeah. Make sure that, you just take really good care of them. Give them grace and understand that things might be happening in their families. And I just feel bad when I see centers. Leah and I have some ideas for
We do.
long term. But when you start to see a center and, people bring up morale and that kind of stuff, and you're like, all right, then let's own it. What can we do to make it better? Because there are things within our control to fix this. And there are the big things we're not going to be able to fix. But what can we do on our own? So love your people. Take good care of them.
True story.
Very nice. Well, it has been amazing to have the both of you on here. Whitney, oh man,
I love you guys so much.
we need to do more episodes, man. This is a lot of fun. It
I didn't
was
say
like,
the F word once either.
I'm actually really proud of you.
so I got a couple comments here from Michael saying, get involved in your agency. Also, the most disgruntled people I've ever come across let policy and things happen to them instead of being part of the change. Change is going to happen no matter what.
So that was actually, I know we're wrapping up, but one of the everybody has issues in their dispatch center, and you reach out to your people. She's one of my people. And so I had reached out to her, right? And you want to fix everything, and they come to you, and you think you have a solution, but let them come to you with solutions.
Say, I hear you.
And I was hearing people, but I think I was just that that was that.
Well, you're such a fixer. Like, I want to fix. We're gonna fix
Correct.
this, and then you're gonna keep giving them ideas, and they're not gonna
It
like
is
it.
heartbreaking when my people are upset. Like
Mhm.
I do take that personally. I'm like, I need to fix this.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I told Leah, like, you tell your staff what does perfect or what does right
Mhm.
look like to you, because sometimes you get feedback and you're like, I am not even on the same planet. You know, like, what a great
Not-
way to reel
not
me
gonna
in.
happen, Yeah.
Yeah. So, Michael, you're right though. Get involved. Yes.
Go to conferences, get involved, talk to your peers. They have good ideas too, and they're probably going through the same things you are, and they probably find the same things hilarious. It's always funny.
It seems to be always where our conversations would go when we were working in dispatch,
It-
all the time.
I mean, you guys talk about
All the
working with
time.
one another, and I really wish I would have had the chance to work with you in the
wish
dispatch
you would have
center. I think it would have been hilarious.
Dude.
But I had a supervisor that was similar. At night, we only had 2 people, and I remember he would go to the bathroom and leave me in there.
Wait, what?
He would leave me in the dispatch center.
Oh,
And
okay.
so
I
was
heard that
by-
wrong.
I was by myself. Yeah, no, I gotcha. Let me clarify. I'd be by myself. And I'm like, why is it so loud back there? Do you have the door open? He goes, yeah, what are you going to do? Come back here? You can't. I'm like, such an idiot. Shut the door.
Man, it's all dropping heat back there.
It's great to have friends that you can talk about poop with, though, because
Yeah.
you don't have all those friends in your life. So lean on those relationships while you have. Well, it's not super weird.
Code Brown.
It's only weird if you make it weird.
Yep.
That's like my thing lately. I'm like, I don't know, I'm falling apart. It's just how it's only weird if you make it weird. Like,
Can you imagine if the 3 of us were on a team?
I
Oh
think
my
that
God.
would be rock. I mean, you guys are rock stars, but
It
as
would
a
be
team,
awesome.
we would be awesome.
find your people.
Oh,
It'd be badass.
Mhm.
Also, Heather Brown says, Whitney Wisner.
I saw a table that should have been you behind it,
Mm.
and it wasn't. And I walked in, and I was kind of sad, Heather.
Let's see if she responds to that. But
You're dead
Calling
to me.
people out because
You're
they're not
dead to
here.
me.
yes. Just like when somebody leaves from a shift or the center, you get those cakes that say you're dead to us
Yeah.
now.
I think you got some of those coming.
I do probably.
You do. I think your boss even texted that to you at one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
dead
if
to
that does happen, I want a picture.
Oh, if I
'Cause
have
that's
your
gonna
dead to
be
me
good.
cake,
Yes.
it'll probably be like bye Felicia or like you're
Yeah.
dead to me, something like that.
Well,
Knock knock, who's there? Not Leah.
Yeah.
a good friend of ours out of Kansas,
Yeah.
she had posted something for one of their
Oh yes.
folks that was leaving, and the cake said something to the effect of, "We hope you suck at your new job."
Yes. Maybe. I don't know.
Truth hurts.
Sorry.
Heather says, "Aw, miss you guys."
Oh, we miss you too. We hope you're loving your new position, Heather. I moved kind of far away from a microphone. I hope you're loving your position.
Get right up in there.
Well, thank you both again for being here, and to the Michigan Conference for hosting the podcast. It's been a lot of fun. Also having me out here to talk and do the keynote. It was very awesome, and just everyone who attended the session. Thank you all for sharing your stories. This live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital, Rapid Deploy, as well as Carbine. If you have any comments, questions, or you want to be a guest on the show, you can email us, and that'll be wttpodcast@gmail.com. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and wrap it up because there's a bunch of other stuff that I say, but instead, all I will say is have a good night and big balls.
Oh, I just kissed to that.
My kids and I have been watching like the 2008 version of Wipeout.
Oh man.
So every time we watch it and it gets to the end part, I told my son Logan, who's 17, I said, buddy, one of these days when I sign off of a live broadcast, I'm going to sign off just like they do on Wipeout. So that's what I was doing.
What an opportunity. It worked perfectly. I didn't know that was from a show. I thought that was what you did every
Oh
time.
my
Yeah.
my kid wants to be
No.
on that show so bad.
The show is awesome.
I know, but I didn't know that's how they ended it. I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never
That's
seen the end
that's
of
what he
it.
says. So
Wow.
good
Here
night
we go.
and big balls.